What if I told you that one of the key factors that can help a service business stand out and connect with potential clients is not just better credentials or lower prices, but how authentically they tell their story? See, right now, you've got so much competition out there, and everyone's saying they're the best. You see so many businesses listing their qualifications, but a lot of the time they usually kind of sound exactly the same. Meanwhile, your potential clients are drowning in options and have no idea who to trust. They're not just buying your service, they're buying peace of mind, confidence, and the belief that you actually understand their world. In this video, I'm going to show you how small service brands can use simple, authentic storytelling to cut through all that noise and build genuine trust with potential clients. We'll break down storytelling into bite-sized pieces that actually work for busy service owners who don't have time for complicated marketing strategies. You'll also find out how to identify the stories that are already hiding in your everyday work, where these stories fit naturally into your marketing funnel, and how to address those nagging fears that keep most service owners from sharing their stories in the first place. And with that said, let's dive right in. Let's be honest about something, okay? If your marketing feels pushy and fake, it's probably because you're trying to sell features instead of connecting with real people. Here's the thing about service businesses. People aren't just buying what you do, they're buying who you are and whether they trust you to solve their problem. Think about it this way. When someone needs a business coach, they're not just looking for someone who knows business strategies. They're looking for someone who understands the anxiety and sheer weight of making decisions that affect their family's future. When they find that person, the one who gets it, they're much more likely to move forward with confidence. Stories bridge that gap. They show empathy without you having to say, "I understand," 100 times. They demonstrate your expertise through real examples instead of empty promises. And they help potential clients see themselves in your success stories, which is infinitely more powerful than any list of credentials. So what makes storytelling effective in service marketing? Effective storytelling for service brands isn't about crafting some elaborate Hollywood narrative. It's about connecting 3 simple dots in a way that feels natural and authentic. First of all, you identify your client's real problem. Not the surface-level stuff they say they want, but the deeper issue that keeps them up at night. For example, a small business owner might say they need help with their website, but what they really need is confidence that their business looks professional and trustworthy online. Second, you show how your service addresses that real problem in a straightforward way. You don't need to overcomplicate this or make yourself sound like a miracle worker. Simple, honest solutions resonate more than grandiose claims. And 3, you paint a clear picture of what success looks like for them. Not just the deliverable you provide, but how their life or business actually improves as a result. A lot of service owners get tripped up because they think storytelling has to be this really intricate, dramatic thing with plot twists and emotional crescendos. The reality is much simpler. Your story structure is problem, solution, result. That's it. A client came to you with a specific challenge, you provided your service in a particular way, and here's what happened for them. Keep it brief, keep it relevant, and avoid the temptation to exaggerate or overcomplicate. For instance, Sarah, a marketing consultant, was losing potential clients because her website looked outdated and didn't clearly explain what she did. We redesigned her homepage with clearer messaging and a simple contact form. Within 2 weeks, she had 3 new client inquiries from people who said they finally understood how she could help them. That's a complete story in 3 sentences. No drama, no impossible claims. Just a real problem solved in a real way with a real result. Here's something so many marketing advice misses entirely. You don't need elaborate case studies or lengthy client testimonials to tell effective stories. Some of the most powerful stories for service businesses are tiny, what I call micro stories. These are short, relatable anecdotes that show you understand your client's world. Now, some service owners avoid storytelling because of 3 specific fears, and I want to tackle each one directly. What if my story isn't interesting enough? If you're asking this question, then you may be under the impression that people want something like super entertaining, but in a case like this, that's actually not true. No, they want relevance. A boring story that directly relates to someone's situation is infinitely more valuable than an exciting story they can't connect with. I'm not good at writing or storytelling. You don't need to be Shakespeare. You just need to be authentic and clear. If you can explain your service to a friend over coffee, you can tell your story effectively. Will people think I'm bragging? This is actually a good instinct because it means you care about being genuine. The key is focusing on your client's transformation, not your own brilliance. So make sure that you make them the hero of the story, not you. Your best stories are usually the ones that happen in your regular client interactions. And those are the ones that maybe you're probably overlooking. Start paying attention to the questions clients ask before they hire you. These reveal their real concerns and fears. Notice the moment during your process when clients seem to relax or get excited. That's usually when they realize you actually get their problem. Pay attention to the specific words clients use when they describe their results or refer you to others. Keep a simple notes file on your phone or computer. When something happens that makes you think this is exactly why clients need this service, write it down immediately. And these moments become sort of your story bank. Stories work differently at different stages of your marketing funnel, and understanding this helps you use them more strategically. At the awareness stage, stories help potential clients realize they have a problem worth solving. They see themselves in your client's initial situation and think, that's exactly what I'm dealing with. At the consideration stage, stories demonstrate your approach and help people understand what working with you would actually be like. They build confidence that you can deliver results similar to what other clients experienced. Stories also make your calls to action feel more natural. Instead of just saying book a call, you can say, if you're facing a similar challenge to what Sarah experienced, let's talk about how we can help you get the same kind of clarity she found. Now, before you start using these ideas, let me help you avoid the most common mistakes that actually push potential clients away instead of bringing them closer. I see service businesses make these same errors all the time. The first mistake is making every story about how smart you are. Good stories focus on how you helped your client solve their problem, not on how amazing you are at what you do. Your client should be the star of the story who wins with your help. Second mistake is talking too much about how you work instead of what happens for your clients. Nobody cares about your special system or your 5-step process. They care about how their life gets better after working with you. Talk about the end result, not all the steps you take to get there. Third, telling stories that sound fake or too good to be true. If every client story ends with them making twice as much money or fixing everything perfectly, people won't believe you. Real stories with real results build more trust than perfect fairy tales. Fourth, sharing stories that don't match your audience. That big win you had with a huge company won't connect with a small business owner who's just trying to get their first few customers. Use stories that match the people you're trying to help right now. And the biggest mistake of them is telling a story and then nothing. Every story needs to tell people what to do next. After you share how you help someone, invite your reader to take the next step with you. The key to implementing storytelling in your service business is starting small and staying consistent. Pick one story from your client work. Doesn't have to be your biggest success or most dramatic transformation. Just something real and relevant to your target audience. Write it out in that simple problem, solution, result format. Keep it under 200 words. Then use that story in your next email newsletter, on a landing page, or in a social media post. Pay attention to how people respond. Once you're comfortable with that process, start collecting more stories using the observation techniques we discussed. The goal isn't to have a massive library of stories immediately. It's to develop the habit of noticing and capturing the story moments that happen naturally in your work. If you'd like a quick 5-minute audit of your funnel or your process to spot the areas that you can test and improve upon, check out the free downloadable checklist, especially made for service businesses with smaller teams. It's meant to help you trace the leaks in your own business and identify what your next steps should be to solve it. This way, you can make changes to those exact areas of your sales pipeline and understand your customer better. This way, you'll be more likely to get more out of your marketing efforts even with the same number of leads in future. The link is in the description below. This has been Rita with ClicksandThings.com. See you in the next one.